Hello YouTube, I'm here to talk to you about the Gerber Armbar and why I think it's not a worthwhile purchase. I purchased one for right around $32 on Amazon. It is the one that has the armbar, the double-sided bit, magnetic holder. It has a scissors. It has an awl. These are the ways you can see that awl. There's the awl. Okay. And then it has a main blade. Okay. So why would I not purchase this again? The main reason is the scissors. They're terrible. You'll find people online asking questions about the scissors or saying the scissors are okay, they're not the worst they've ever used. Well, they're pretty bad, and I think that kind of makes it bad enough to not carry. If a scissors isn't important to you, then I think there's a slim version of this that does not have the scissors. That might be worthwhile, just saving the bulk and that little bit of weight for the extra thickness, and just avoiding the scissors that are included on this altogether, because they're just not that useful. If you are an occasional scissors user, or you're only cutting things that are very, very thin, such as little threads and single sheets of paper, the scissors probably will function okay for you. They're not as comfortable, as smooth as, say, like the Victorinox or probably the Leatherman scissors, so I'll do a little demonstration to kind of show that. But let's talk about some of the other issues that I have with the armbar, and other people talk about this too, is these tools don't lock in place. So this does not snap closed. It'll go wherever you put it until you bring it all the way in. So if it's sitting out a little bit, it'll just kind of hang out there. Same thing with the scissors, and you can see how easy that kind of pulls out all together. With the scissors, it's not a big deal. It's kind of an awkward thing to have to flip around to use. And the same thing with the screwdriver. The fact that it doesn't lock out isn't the biggest deal in the world, but for the price point, it's kind of crazy that it doesn't. And the awl is reasonably good as well to use, but once again, it doesn't lock out. So if you're really trying to push through anything, it'll stay in that 180 position pretty well, but it's not locking in there. You can see you can kind of set it at any point, and it's just a friction fit. You know, the difference, I guess, that I'm trying to point out there is compared to something like this Victorinox Compact, which I think is superior. It's a little bit thinner, it has more tooling on it, and the knife blade is a little bit better steel actually. You can see this is locked open. It's not a liner lock, but you can see how it snaps open like that. It doesn't just go anywhere. And when you go to put the tool away, it'll snap closed. Now, I know I'm just showing a main blade there, but this is true for every tool on the Victorinox. Here's their pry bar, bottle opener, wire stripper, flathead screwdriver, and then this is actually cut on an angle to use with a Phillips. I do it all the time. It works fine. It's not as good as a real Phillips. That's why I was kind of interested in this armbar. However, this tool here locks at a 90 and locks again at the 180 position. You see how that locks open? It's not just all willy-nilly. That's a big deal, okay, for me at least. You can see when we close that, it's snapping itself closed. Okay, so the main blade on the Gerber is it's a CR5 steel. It's pretty low grade steel. I'm not a steel snob though, so I don't really care. I bought it anyways. I knew that ahead of time. And it's going to be easy to sharpen, and it's reasonably sharp. I mean, it works fine. Here's a flyer, Piggly Wiggly, and this is folded over. It's, I don't know, 4 sheets thick the way it's folded. that's fine. I mean, this is plenty sharp. And yeah, you'll have to touch it up every now and again. That doesn't bother me at all. Let me see if I can get a single page out of this flyer here. There we go. It cuts fine. Okay, so that blade does lock open. That's actually a little bit better than what you would see on a victorinox, because that victorinox, it's just that snapped open, and then you can snap it back closed at any time. It's not actually locked. On this Gerber, they have a liner lock, and it actually has a little unlock symbol, and it says the word unlock on it. And it's not the most comfortable liner lock to use because it's kind of thin and hard to get your thumb in, but it does work, and it's a liner lock, so that's cool. I'm happy with that. So the main blade I'm pretty happy with, to be honest. But the scissors for me are a killer. I use the scissors frequently on my victorinoxes, and so they were a must, which is why I ordered the model that had them. Opening them is kind of an awkward ordeal. Once they're open, it seems reasonable, but immediately you can actually see it's leaving a print in my thumb. It is not comfortable to use at all. Okay, on thin paper, here's some thin paper. If I open this up, it works fine. So if you're cutting a single sheet like this is fine. It cuts the full length of the blade. You're definitely feeling pressure. It's leaving indents in my thumb. Not comfortable to use, but it cuts fine. The problem comes in when you're trying to cut multiple sheets. So if I take these and I line them all back up, in the innermost part where there's the most force, it will cut, but only about halfway. And you can see if I fold this up, that's all the further this is cut. So that the whole end of that blade is not able to cut. And you may say, well, that's kind of, you know, an extreme test, and no scissors would be able to cut through that without a lot of force. And compared to the victorinox, that's not true. I can cut through it with no pain to my thumb and almost no pressure. You can see right on the tip, right on the tip, no problem. Oh, I dropped my paper. Okay, let's do it here again. See, right on the tip again, no problem. Right on the tip here, two hands cannot do it. Left a big print in my thumb. So that's my main problem with this. I was trying to cut a piece of packaging open with it, could not do it. And putting the scissors away is kind of an awkward ordeal where you have to fold them up. So you fold this open and then put it away. Not the end of the world, but it is not as convenient as these scissors that just lock closed and work a lot better. No pain in my thumb with those. Even cutting through all this, felt like I hardly used any pressure. So getting those scissors out too is a little bit more awkward. I have to open up at least the arm bar and get that out of the way, deploy the scissors, and then fold that around. That's the process. I think the issue with the scissors as to why they don't cut is, one, this spring it requires a lot of force. So this is already digging into my thumb pretty bad just to get it closed with nothing in it. And you can see the indent that left. Okay, so it takes too much pressure to close the scissors. The other issue is the scissors, when that tip gets closed, you're at basically fully locking the scissors out. If we look at that victorinox again, that works a lot better. These scissors, they close just a little bit earlier because there's a curve in that handle. See that curve? And it's just ever so slight, but right there we're closed, and it's just before we lock out. It seems like the Gerber this very, very straight angle makes it a little bit harder to use. Okay. Putting it away, flip it, and it does not lock closed, or it doesn't slip joint close like the Victorinox. It just, you have to push it all the way in. Alright, so that's the Gerber Armbar. Maybe you still want it after seeing this. I'm going to be sending this one back. It's just not real useful for me. I'm sure you've seen everybody talk about this pommel bottle opener. I don't find that very useful in practice. I tried playing with it. You don't have enough hammer power with it. The pry bar aspect of it is kind of useful. The bottle opener aspect of it, I wasn't able to get a beer to open cleanly with it, so it's no good to me. But it is cool and I like playing with it. On the flip side of that, still got a pry bar right there, open key rings, whatever. Bottle opener works great. No, I don't have a hammer on this, but the hammer just doesn't do much here. So thank you for watching, and I think the Victorinox still rules over the Gerber in that respect. I am not a Gerber hater, to be clear. I carry a Gerber Zilch almost every day, and really love that knife. So I just want to point out that I don't have anything against Gerber. I bought their thing thinking it would be good, just don't find it very good. Thank you very much.
Take right there.